As we move to the start now of the B final of the women's four, lane 1, Germany, lane 2, Poland, lane 3, Denmark, lane 4, New Zealand, lane 5, Ireland, and lane 6, Canada.
Okay, one of these boats, you know the form, will qualify for Paris. Just one slot. Who will grab it? Will it be these Germans? Sophie Leopold, Lena Osterkamp, Melanie Goldner, and Luisa Schada. Two stern women from the Ruder Club Potsdam Club in Berlin. Well, the Poles in lane 2, the experience of Joanna Dittmann in the stroke seat saw that crew to a 6th place in the Tokyo Olympics. Olga Mikhailovic, Susanna Lesnar, and Veronika Kazmierczak in the bows. So Denmark's top female crew: Astrid Stensbergen, Frida Sangard Nielsen, Marie Johannesson, and Judy Poulsen in the bows for Denmark. The Kiwis, we've got Jackie Gowler, a silver medalist in the women's 8 from the Tokyo Olympics in the 3-seat. Phoebe Hawes at stroke. Ella Kossel, the University of Washington graduate. Davina Waddy up in the bows. Well, big strong girls: Natalie Long, Sanita Puspura, double world champion in the women's single in the 2-seat. Imogen Magna and Emma Lamb in the stroke seat of that boat. And Canada, Piper Battersby, Rebecca Zimmerman, Christine Siomashki, and Christina Walker in the stroke seat on the left of your picture for Canada. The tension is palpable. You'll hear the heartbeat to ramp it up some more. Race is shortly going to be off.
Well, we hear the heartbeat pumping. It's very calm. That's a long hold on the start. And then all the crews really getting away pretty much evenly.
There are the Danes. I think some people's favourite to grab that 7th place. Coached by Mads Pettersson, Mads Halbro Pettersson, and well, it's an even start across the lanes.
Perhaps lane 6, Canada here, just one of the slowest starters in the race. But New Zealand establishing an early race lead here. They'll have eyes on the prize for this qualifying position. They narrowly missed out on making it into the A final through the semi-finals.
Yeah, that's a good start from New Zealanders, isn't it? As we see them here, just solid, very little body movement. Their heads all staying pretty well, smoothly in line. And at the moment, I think they're still edging away from the high-rating Irish, who are beside them. The Irish still up at 43 strokes a minute out here through the minute.
Well, Irish rowing really jumped onto the scene when their 4 qualified for the Olympics and then went on to win a bronze medal. Joanna Dittmann, the Polish stroke, closest to the camera there from the Bydgoszcz club. Ella Kossel, her blonde hair streaming behind her, the husky. Go Dogs, you might be saying, if you're watching this on the west coast of America.
But coming through the first 500-metre marker, it is New Zealand with a commanding lead about a boat length over the rest of the field. Poland, Denmark, Ireland, Canada and Germany trailing behind.
Well, I just wonder what it feels like sitting in that New Zealand fort and you're just saying, let's just keep moving. Let's please just keep moving. Keep churning it out. Don't do anything. Don't look outside the boat. Just keep putting one good stroke after another. They've settled into their pace. They're on 38 strokes a minute. It's only the Irish who are still at 41. And as it is, that New Zealand crew is still just moving every stroke quietly away from the rest of the field.
And it's a profile you don't often see from Kiwi crews. You normally expect that sort of conservative start and a strong third quarter. This is quite a different type of race.
It's a little bit like the rugby last night, where the New Zealanders started with a try in the first quarter, straight into it, straight over, crossing the try line. They're going to be hoping the same thing isn't going to happen as happened last night, where the French came working their way back and ground them down. The rest of this field will want to grind down this New Zealand crew, but at the moment the New Zealanders are looking more solid than the All Blacks were last night.
Yeah, I would think this New Zealand crew would think that they don't deserve to be in this B final. They would have fancied to see themselves in the A final. So I think they're going out to send a message there that they will be the crew to get this all-important Paris Olympic qualifying position.
Well, wherever in the world you're watching us, I'm Martin Cross, you're listening to Greg Searle and Sarah Cook. New Zealand are leading this B final. There's only one place directly through for the Paris qualification, and we hope if you're enjoying this in New Zealand, you'll be loving the fact that these 4 women are out in front of the field.
Well, what a standout performance this is from this New Zealand women's 4. They've left the rest of the field in their wake. It's going to take a massive second 1,000 from someone if they're to close the gap, or for something to go wrong in the New Zealand crew.
And I called a slow start there for Canada. They were dropped off the field, but they've now moved themselves into second place coming through the 1,000-metre mark. First, of course, was New Zealand, then Canada up into second. Ireland pushed back into third. Does Canada have something to say here in the second half of the race? They're going to have to make up about 2 boat lengths, so a massive margin with less than half the course to go.
Yeah, and it's really interesting, Sarah, you're calling the race, absolutely. It's hard not to look at it and just say there is one race, and it's just for first place overall, and New Zealand are dominating that. There they are, out in front. Phoebe Spores in the stroke seat from Canterbury Club, the 30-year-old, stroked a beautiful race. She's obviously got that backup of Jackie Gowler behind her from the Aramoho Wanganui Club in New Zealand. Canada in second place now.
Yeah, Canada, you can see it at the distance in that bottom left-hand corner, but if you're a New Zealand supporter, you'll see it's 25 metres. It's certainly not getting any smaller, that gap. The New Zealanders are holding that position they took in the first 1,000. So smooth, so clean and brave. It's all about this race for the 2nd and 8th place, but that's not qualifying for the Olympic Games.
Yeah, the Irish starting to shorten up now. They don't look great to me, and no surprise there, Canada and Denmark starting to move through. They're bow ball for bow ball, but it is a massive clear water between New Zealand and the rest of the field. I think psychologically the way that the Kiwis have approached this is pretty smart, if you can do it, which is to work hard, open up a gap on the field and just shut down everyone psychologically to say, you're not coming to get this position.
Well, it's worked for them that they've got that big gap. You can see, if anything, it's slightly closing down. It's down to 22 metres now that Canada have to catch up if they're going to come all the way back through New Zealand. But I think we're now down with about 400 metres to go. You can see Phoebe Spores gritting her teeth in that stroke seat. The work has been put in early. They've now just got to keep it together and make sure nothing goes wrong.
So the jeopardy, if it comes, is from the Canadians, who are fast finishing. New Zealand still out in front. Canada on this lane 6 in the near side. There's the Danish crew in the centre of the course. Canada coming.
Well, when you look at it from this drone, it all looks a bit closer, doesn't it? It looks like the field's tightening up on New Zealand. They're all in a race with each other for this second place, but you can see the gap is down to 19 metres now, but the finish line should come in time for New Zealand. There's only 150 metres to go now.
The New Zealanders have put it out there early. That is a hard thing to do. They're going to just have to hope that no one has a massive sprint here. Time is ticking, the metres are running up. I think the Kiwis have done enough, but look at these 3 trailing boats closing in on them in the dying metres.
Well, it's coming up to 10 o'clock in New Zealand in the evening. It's late at night, but I'm sure you're up there shouting at your TV screens. New Zealand have done enough to grab 7th place. The Danes are charging on that far side. It's not enough. New Zealand grabbed the Paris place. Denmark in 2nd, Ireland in 3rd, Canada in 4th. The Germans and Poles on the far side take the minor places. But it is a dramatic and emphatic row from the New Zealand crew, Waddy, Cassell, Gowler and Spores, to grab that qualifying place.
Well, you saw how much it was hurting them in that last 500. You just, you know, they made it look easy, but it's not easy. It's so hard to be that brave. Sarah Cook, you said it. They really took it on in that first 1500. The rest of the field came back at them, but they kept it together. Their technique stood up under pressure. That's why they do all those miles, and it paid off for them here at the World Championships, grabbing that last qualifying place for the Paris Olympics.
Confirmation, the Kiwis, they did it.